not your enemy, nor will I pretend to be. I got these pals like Austin, so all I can see is a bunch of mini-me's. These people is killing me, really though. Y'all some lame actors.
Welcome to the Rip 28 podcast. This is the Rip 28 podcast. It's a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we keep on talking about them on the Rip 28 podcast. I am your super host, Slider Sports Guy, joined by a few of my good friends. As always, we start off with the president. What's going on, El Presidente?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Cedes in the building as always. Let's go.
All right, now we got your favorite teacher's favorite teacher. What's going on, El Beezy?
What it do is your boy Beezy the Great, and I'm here to let you know, parents, you on deck. 3 more weeks. Get your kids, get them out my classroom. I don't want to have nothing to do with them. Let's get it.
So get them little bastards away. Get them away.
All of them. All of them.
F them kids.
F them kids.
FDK. That's what I'm saying for the next. When I go and work tomorrow, I'm going to say this for Shauna. FDK. All you kids.
And as usual, well, not as usual, but we had to bring her back. We had to bring her back partially because the other 4 people we called wasn't available. So we did ask for the one and only. Mercedes. Mercedes is joining the show with us one more time. How you doing, Miss Mercedes?
Hey guys. Hey Thara, how you doing?
Hey, Soror.
Speaking of Sora, we got we will let the people know once again, we are the #1 preferred broadcast among Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. They have chosen us.
The 2 that's on here.
Well, no. Actually, it's been numerous polls done, and they came down to 5 out of 6 Deltas prefer to listen to the Rip 28 podcast. It is a fact. It is a known fact.
You cite the source?
Huh?
There's no.
Look at me.
The Rip 28 social media team is
Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that.
Listen.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
You're not here to ask questions, Mercedes. You're not here to ask questions. You just go along with the program. What happened last time you was asking questions and giving suggestions? Now, we got the president on here. He handles all of this. All right. Oh, yeah. What we talking about? We were talking about, fresh off of Broadway herself. You know, she got on the private jet this afternoon to go and watch Alvin Ailey, and then they flew her back. They flew her back to Boston, and she took the helicopter to her mini mansion so she could jump on the podcast. The one and only S.Commerce. How you doing, S.Commerce?
In the building.
Hey, the propellers ain't stopped spinning yet. They still spinning.
They still chopping, ain't
they? Still chopping outside.
Hot off the chop.
Hey, right on top
y'all
of
in these tall tales.
Right down through her elevator, right to the Rip 28 podcast.
Mm-hmm. Top floor, helicopter landed on the building.
Hey, but when we say S.commas, just know it's more commas than dots. That's all I want y'all to know. It's more commas than dots. Better know that. Ain't that right, Carl?
I got plenty of money.
I'm not fooling with y'all tonight. I don't even know why I'm on here.
Hey, I'm trying to get a job in Boston just to be the help. Just want to be the help.
That's all, man. I wanted to be.
Hey, Brian, we all Brokies up here. You can't afford this so expensive up here.
I'm coming up there with you. I know I'm all right.
Shauna, I'm going to be in Boston and Martha's Vineyard in August. The Delta's on the Vineyard. Are you going?
Hey,
no, I'm going to be out of the country.
Oh, money! Look how it just stun on him so easy. You see how easy she just stun on you?
She did
just stunned on everybody.
It was real gentle, though.
I really want to go, but I won't be here. I'll be out of town.
Look at
lying. I'm gonna tell you how you know she lying, Sly. She said it with a straight face. No. I'll be out of town. out of the country.
No, that real money. You know,
Come on, man.
regular people say, I won't be able to make it because I'm going to be somewhere. No,
Yeah,
I'm going to be out of the country.
It's a work trip. It's a work trip.
Yeah,
the whole country.
It's a work trip.
We understand. We understand where the money lay. God,
it's a work trip. Work trip.
Yeah, whatever.
Shauna, you know where your gas tank is?
No.
She don't pump no gas.
She don't pump
Because they have full service up here.
Where she live in full service.
Oh, they have full service.
Only for her.
You know how I know Shauna rich?
I'm sorry.
I was with Shauna and Shauna was getting gas one day. Shauna was filling up a gas tank and she didn't even jiggle the handle. She didn't even jiggle the handle when she filled up the gas. Shauna went inside and sat down in the car while the gas was pumping. And when it clicked, she just got up and went on and put the thing. I said, God, that girl rich.
That girl Sunday.
Rich.
Don't tell lies on Sundays.
Rich.
Slide. You ain't lying, Slide. I know you ain't lying, man.
You know I'm telling the truth. You know
My dog Slide doesn't lie.
Hey man, check this, man.
You don't even believe that.
You know we talk about rich, man. We talk about rich, man. But the thing is, man, we got a listener who not very rich. You know what I'm saying? We have a high class. We got a listener who's not as rich as Shauna. Let's say this. We got a listener who's not as rich as Shauna. Hey, what up, Natasha Jones? We see you out there. We got a listener, and we're gonna get our
Come on, who is that?
That's right. Our producer was
the production team.
Production team wasn't on point.
They drank
it. Hey, you hiring Shauna because somebody finna be laid off. Somebody finna be jobless if they don't get it right. I'm
about to let our producer go.
You get what you pay for.
We got them janky producers.
Mr. Producer, I need you to pull up something, man. Because we got a listener who's not as rich as Shauna. Man, y'all messed up my perfect segue, man. I had a good segue, man. It was about to be about 3 weeks in a row with a great segue. Y'all messed it up, man.
Pull it back together, Sly. You got it, dog.
Get it back. Well, okay. Producer, bring up the letter. We got a listener who doesn't have all of the money that Shauna Cobb has, but he has a problem. Now, what we want to do, we want to break down this letter and help this man out with his problem. All right. Hey, fellas, I have a problem. I started kicking it with this girl. We seem to get along fine together, but the only problem is she is hurting my wallet. She only wants to go out to dates at top class restaurants or some other chic place. No simple places. I do all right for myself, but just to keep it real, I can't afford to go to Ruth Chris every week. I tried taking her to a cool small place, but it was a no-go when I suggested it. What can I do? How can I go on dates that won't break me?
Hey, Sly, you start talking about breaking and going to a small restaurant. Shauna got up and left.
She didn't even want to hear it.
I can't even add nothing to this conversation. So what the hell am I doing here?
LeBron, when did you get off Team Cobb?
I'm still Team Cobb. I'm with you, Cobb.
I can't tell.
Real
damn it. Whatever.
We just know you rich, man. Ain't no
whatever.
Not Team Cobb.
I wasn't drinking tonight. Now I got to pour a drink.
Man. But check this, man. What kind of help can we give our boy, man? He seems to be out of problems, man. His old lady only want to go to the top-notch restaurant. Shauna, is this your new boo or something? Is your new boo or somebody right in? Now check this. I want to throw this before we as dudes give our perspective, which will probably be the right perspective. I want to throw this to Mercedes. You being a woman, you know.
Look,
helping this dude. Yeah, Shauna don't even want to be a part of it.
Shauna say, man, she said, I ain't with this foolishness.
I don't go to regular restaurants.
Yeah, she got to go pour that drink up.
Thank you, Chance. My guy.
But what advice would you give this brother, man? You know, like I say, he ain't a brokey, but he can't afford Ruth Chris every week, man. What advice would you give this brother?
I mean, he's kind of dealing with the situation he created. Like he went into it, like trying to wow her and do all of that. And then why does he need her permission for where he takes her on a date? Why can't he plan something and she just get dressed and be ready to be picked up and they go there? And if she acts crazy or unappreciative or ungrateful at the spot, then he has a decision to make. Is that who you want in your life? Because I like Ruth Chris, I like Capital Grill, but I could go to Applebee's and get a chicken wonton or something. But
don't you say that on this show.
Don't you say
that on this show.
We got a disagreement.
I'm just saying he's setting a precedence he can't maintain. That's all on him. He's a grown-ass man. Speak up. Plan your own dates. Tell her, hey, I'm picking you up on this time and I'm taking you here. If she acts ungrateful, then he has to decide, is this somebody who I want to walk beside me in this journey of life? If so, then shit, get a part-time job and stop complaining. But he created this scenario. And then he can plan something and go home. I mean, like he could cook something at her house. I'm just if he wants to sustain it and he's like, I don't know what to do. This is a really easy fix. Bring in one.
Get another job and shut up. Get another job and shut up.
Get you another W-2 and get out my face.
and shut up.
That man got to start driving Uber to date this chick.
Or he can set realistic goals and be like, hey, we're going here, or we're going to stay in and cook and we're going to do it. We're going to go to the museum. There's other date nights, but he needs that intestinal fortitude.
What you say, Miss Out of the Country?
Whatever.
We already know her answer.
No, I feel like this is something that if they're just starting out their relationship, she probably was like this out of the gate. And he probably saw, but chose to not acknowledge or to ignore, like that this is how this woman was going to be. And he tried to woo her, and he's like, okay, I'll do it. But he knew that's not what he wanted. So I don't feel like this is something that she sprung on him and he made the choice to participate. Just based on how it sounds. Like he starts kicking with her, and then my guess is out of the gate, she was like, oh, let's go to Ruth's Chris, or let's go to Prime 47 or whatever have you. And he should have known then that, okay, I see what type of woman I'm dealing with now. So I've either got to adjust or I don't want to deal with this woman.
Quick question. Had he on the first date, had he taken her to Applebee's or Ruby Tuesday, do you think he would have gotten a second date?
From the way it sounds, based on his letter, no. Based on what he said, no.
I'm just speaking to this situation, not overall, Mercedes.
Based on what he said, no.
Because if she's wanting Ruth Chris and all of that.
Could it be he saved in her phone as a meal? Because we can go to Applebee's and have a good ass time, a great conversation, and it's the vibe, it's the energy in the conversation. Maybe she sees that this is an easy ass opportunity. His name is meal number 2. He's probably not even the first meal choice she goes to.
Wow.
And she's not letting up. And for him to be like, for y'all to say, she probably wouldn't still been in his life if they would have went to Applebee's. Buddy, if you hear me, I'm so sorry you're going through this. However, maybe she's not the one. Just maybe.
That was hard.
He said he saved in her phone as meal number 2.
He ain't even the top choice. He ain't even the top choice.
That make me wonder now, Mercedes, how many brothers you got in your phone book saved under meal? You got any meals in your phone book?
I don't know. I don't do stuff like that.
Meal, car wash. all that stuff.
Wow.
But he asked the question at the end, how can he go on dates that won't break him? Simple answer to that question is you have to go on a date with somebody else, not her.
Exactly.
Drop that knowledge.
She ain't gonna change, and like they said, if he's suggesting to go to a cheaper place, she's saying no. So I mean, she don't like him for him.
Right.
She like him for what he can provide her.
Yeah.
And if you go to Ruth Chris once a week, yeah, she probably getting a little big too.
Well, Chance, I have to disagree with you, Chance. That might not necessarily be that she likes him for what he can get. She might just like what she likes.
Could
So
be.
it may have nothing to do with whether he can do it, because she might be able to do that on her own. So if she can take herself to Ruth's Chris and she likes it, then it's not necessarily she's with him for now. That's a chance, because no pun intended.
No pun intended.
That could be the case, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's the case. Like maybe she just likes to eat at those type of places and she could take herself, but since she's going with him, she's like, no, we're gonna go here. Now, if this were me, I'm not expecting a guy to pay every Bron. Again, when did you call off Team Cobb?
No,
what are you doing?
I am
No.
reading an email.
Shauna got a
Don't
special
do that.
section
Don't
of
agree.
it.
Don't do that.
She don't have
Don't
to pay
do
for
that.
Ruth Chris. She just go in there and they just serve her.
No, I don't need steak, so I don't go to Ruth's Chris. But I'm saying, like, if me and a guy are dating, like, I'm not expecting him to pick up the tab every time we go out. I'm gonna foot the bill sometime too. But if we go to Ruth's Chris, I'm still gonna foot that bill.
Check this out right here. As for a dude, she's only gonna be able to do what he start out doing. She's gonna expect whatever you start out doing, she's gonna expect you to continue.
You create that monster.
You create that atmosphere, and she's gonna expect Ruth Chris on Fridays and Steak 47 on every other Saturday, whatever the case may be. So I'm like Mercedes, you gotta put your foot down and let them know what it is. And if it ain't that, then you gotta move on.
That's why I set the bar low in the beginning. I even give them mediocre penis too. So I can only get better.
We are in the group chat with you, so we do know certain things. So just hush.
So, but when I drop them off that good thing, they go, "Oh, I gotta keep them around."
It's like you taking a chance though that she gonna stick around. Because if I'm getting mediocre, I'm out. I'm not coming back for more. You taking a chance.
It's big, Shauna. They won't come back. They figure I can do some more, a little bit.
Oh, Shauna, why would you even feed into that, Shauna? Why?
First of all, I just threw up in my mouth with him talking about the size of his man.
They do too sometimes, thinking it in too far. But that's a whole nother story. But that's a whole nother. Listen, bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Slide. This is why T ain't gonna let you hang out with Chance because of that.
You see, I'm over here quiet as hell.
This is why it doesn't matter what you do or who you do, you will not be able to hang out with Chance.
Hey,
let the record show.
Hey, Shauna, Chance might have finished 139 out of 142, but he's the smartest husband in the world. I got to talk about stupidity, Chance. Like, this my chance to show him I should have been in the top 10.
He in the top 10 of husbands, even if he was 136 out of 120.
Hey, man, y'all got to stop hating, man. Y'all got to stop hating.
Hey, James, boy, that was smart. That was the smartest thing you did on the Next 28 podcast.
Listen.
You had that all by yourself.
Let's bring this.
Not mine.
Let's bring this thing back together, man. Let's get back on track. Get back on track, people. Now, as usual, I'm gonna have to come in and be the voice of reason, and I'm just gonna have to bring a little bit of truth to what's going on. And it may sound harsh, but it is the truth. We look at this right here. He says, I have a problem. I just started kicking it with this girl. So obviously they hadn't been together too long. They knew in this whole relationship thing. I don't even know if it's a relationship. They just kicking it. So this is what you got to do right here, right now. Cut your losses and leave. I mean, I don't know what we arguing, what we debating, what you trying to figure out, what you need to know. Cut your losses and leave. Because Shauna always like to say it's a shoe for every foot, or you say something.
A foot for every shoe.
A foot for every shoe.
I
Maybe
say that?
no, a coat for every closet or something. I don't know. I don't know what you said, but you say something saying that it's somebody made for somebody. You say something like that. But my thing is, it's obvious that this woman is not made for you. I mean, it's plain obvious and plain and clear. If she wants to go to Ruth Chris, she wants to go to top-notch steakhouses every time you go out. Nah, that ain't you. And the way he described that other restaurant, if you look in the sentence, he said a top-notch restaurant or a chic or some super chic place. So what's that telling me is he's not a super chic guy who want to go to the trendy spots. From what I'm gathering out this line, he don't wear tight jeans. You know, he ain't that guy. You know what I'm saying? So if that's not who he is, why waste your time with a girl who that's what she wants to do? You're never going to be in a great relationship with her if all she wants to, I'm not saying all she wants to do, but if she wants to go to these top-notch restaurants and obviously you're paying for them and you can't afford to do it every week, man, you better drop down, bro. I mean, get out of it while you still can. Unless,
either stay there and be homeless.
Yeah, unless that mouth do something
She
real
really
good.
gonna leave you. It ain't gonna even be meal number two then, Mercedes. It won't even be meal number two. He'll be off the list. So he better make a wise decision, man. And I say it ain't gonna work, bro. Move on.
Yeah, one of them times he go up in there, that credit card gonna say decline. You gonna have to run out the door.
Don't speak.
Hey, y'all ever been on a date and ran out of money? Ladies, y'all ever had somebody take y'all out and the money went there?
Yes. Oh,
what
God.
happened? I got to hear
No.
that.
He bringing back memories.
I got a funny story. Go ahead.
Buddy called me in the middle, it was like probably 8 o'clock, and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you to Eddie V's. You want to go?" And so I was like, "It's the middle of the week. I don't really want to." He was like, "No, I got it. I'll pay for the, your nanny or whatever," because the kids were younger. I was like, "All right, cool, no problem." So we go there. I always get crab fried rice from Eddie V's and a little piece of cocktail, and that's my go-to. He was like, "No, you need to get these oysters. No, you need to get this. No, you need to get that." And I was like, "All right, I'm tasting it." So the bill comes. He puts his card in the little folder and gives it to the guy, and his whole demeanor changes. He's watching the server go, and I'm talking, and the buddy is asking like, "Well, how come you don't want me around my kids?" I wasn't interested in the dude. So the server comes back with the thing and was like, "Hey, my man, the card didn't work." This brother says, "I didn't think it would." So I was like, "What?"
Oh,
okay. Sorry. So he puts 2 cards. Somebody count the cards. I'm about to tell you. He puts 2 cards in the little binder and gives it to him. So I was
put half on this, put half on that.
So I'm sitting there like, so. And it's a black server. So Buddy takes the thing, goes back. His demeanor still changed. I ain't saying shit because now I'm like, I gotta pay for this meal. So Buddy comes back, gives the card. It was like, "You still got a balance." And I was like, what? So we had 3 cards. He puts another card in, right? Buddy comes back. He was like, "That card didn't work either." So I get up to the bathroom, and the manager was like,
"You just let this man go through this, because I know that you could have paid for the meal, but you just sitting here watching."
Easily. Yes, because he got me out of my bed.
How long this charade gonna go on?
So I get up to go to the bathroom. The manager's coming over and was like, "I'm sorry, ma'am, where are you going?" I was like, "I'm just going to the restroom. I'm not leaving." So when you walk into the bathroom at the Eddie V's in Tyson's Corner, their POS system is by the bathroom, and they got like a table there or whatever, and it's behind, everybody. So I'm going to the bathroom. I'm in the mirror like, I know good and goddamn well this is not happening to me. I gotta pay for this. And it was like $275. It wasn't bad. $270, but 3 cards. I was in the bathroom at 3 cards.
Wait. $275?
It's Eddie V's.
I don't know what the fuck. I guess it's a reason. I don't know what Eddie V's is. $275 on a weekday?
Yes.
And I'm not engaged in courtship with you every other day?
You're not.
They slide.
You got to be kidding me.
The crazy part is not just $275, and she ain't even interested in you.
Yeah, shit, you ain't even interested.
But what did I say? You're going home alone.
But my thing is, I go to Eddie V's, I get a piece of cocktail, I get my crab fried rice.
I don't care what you get.
That's it. He's telling me, oh no, he's ordering for me. He said he made that bill $275. He's like, no, he's trying to floss.
You get
so as I'm coming out the bathroom, and I did not.
Reason number 2, that chance can't hang out with you.
I walked out the bathroom.
I'm glad I got other people to say it instead of me.
Y'all, I gotta get this off my chest because I was coming to you
no more. Clearly, sorry. Go ahead.
Y'all couldn't say this on. Go ahead.
So I walk out the bathroom. They pulled him.
We already know how this story is.
POS system. They got all his credit cards spread out on the table, and the lady is just picking them up, sliding all of them. So I walked and I asked her, I was like, did he pay it? Do you need me to pay it? She was like, no, he's good. So I go to the server and I give him like $20. And I was like, I had nothing to do with this. Sorry. So I grab my purse and my coat. I'm out. In Eddie V's, he screams across the room, Mercedes, where you going? I'm like, let me take you to your car so I can pay for valet. And I turned around and I was like, N-word, what? What you gonna pay valet with? You don't have no money. So I was like, no, you good. He was like, well, then give me a ride to my car. I was like, yeah. So I gave him a ride to his car. I was like, hey, yeah, this is where it stops. Like, don't call me anymore. So he blocked on everything. But he'll send me a message like once a year through the nonprofit's website.
Oh, you gotta test the water now. He gotta test just to make sure it ain't all the way out.
Shauna say I'll drink to that one.
I didn't go to Eddie V's for 3 months. I had to let that cool off for 3 months.
The shame.
That's a rough one. That's a rough one.
What happened with you,
Well,
Sly?
I ain't never had nothing that bad. I ain't never had, but I did.
Sly couldn't afford to pay the bill.
No. Well, here's my thing, and this is because I am super paranoid. I'm super paranoid about that happening. So whenever I go on a date, and especially if it's with a new girl, long time ago, long time ago in the backsliding days. If I was to go on a date, I would call ahead to the restaurant. If I don't know the restaurant, or I would go on the website and I would try to see some prices. You know what I'm saying? I try to see some prices so I could make sure on my debit card or on my credit card,
That man moving money over from his checking to his from his savings to his checking.
Bro, but I try to make sure that I got enough to cover this restaurant and cover, if anything, shut up. to cover the restaurant and see if anything is
out of your range.
Yeah, out of my range. Because if it's out of my range,
what's the range?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. For me, long time ago, in my backsliding days, long time ago, my range would depend on the woman. I'm not gonna lie to you. It depends on the woman what my range is. When you go on a date, it's like if I'm taking you to Roof Chris or something like that, we've been established. Well, not established, but I done hit it at least once. You know what I'm saying?
But what's the range? So is there like a cap on what you'll spend when you go on a date?
$25 a person.
No.
One times Applebee's, man.
Well, here's the thing.
That's where he's going.
It depends on who the woman is and where I am in our relationship.
Oh, a good high quality woman, or what Kevin Samuels said,
Well, the
woman. What's
the most I've spent on a dinner date, just on dinner, has been Thai fine dining or whatever. It was like $425. It was $425. Yeah, but it was a good occasion. It was a birthday.
Y'all were eating.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is though. It ain't really the eating. It's the liquor. Nah, I'm serious.
It is the liquor. It's the liquor.
It's the liquor. It's the drinks. It's the drinks and everything that comes up.
I thought you had a funny story to tell.
Oh, I did, but she threw me off. She
funny looking. That's all he got.
I've never had the problem of not having enough money because, like I said, I always check before I go to make sure I have enough money. But when I came back home, when I transferred back to USC, met a chick and want to take on off of College Club. Y'all remember College Club? CollegeClub.com.
What is that you talk of?
Oh man, y'all don't remember College Club website College Club?
Yeah,
we get to the story. We gonna run out of time. We gotta transition.
Right.
I got
it's a long story. It's a long story for you to tell us that you broke.
Y'all people, man, this might have been worse than being broke. I pulled up to her apartment. You know what I'm saying? I get out. I was driving a 93 Pontiac Grand Am. This is 2000. Year 2000. I'm driving a 93 or a 92 Pontiac Grand Am. I pull up to her crib, and I go inside, pick her up, we talk for a little bit, then come back outside. Try to crank the car. Click. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. And she looked at me and said, what are we gonna do? I said, I don't think we going no way. She said, all right, damn it, I will drive. I was like, oh, shit.
Hey, she didn't drive?
Yeah, she drove. That was our last date.
She was broke, too.
That was our last date.
She was driving a 90
Right. She was broke, too.
She was old broke. He probably, I ain't gonna say where he got it from because somebody probably listen and get mad.
Hey,
but check it out.
But here go the thing that pissed me off, though. When we get back after the date or whatever,
car cranked up.
No goddamn problem. No problem. First try.
I'm trying to tell you something right there.
First try.
He ain't never take it to the shop after that.
That was God.
That was your sign. You ain't need to be with her. She was gonna be like the lady in the listener letter.
Mm-hmm.
She just won't take you to Ripcrest. But the only thing happened to me is I forgot to activate my card. I had to get a new card. I was in college, and boy, I thought I was doing something. Went up there and swiped that thing said decline. I was like, I just got my little work study check. I say swipe it again. And then they said, is it a new card? It still had the stick on it. It said it's a new card. It's like, yeah. I was like, that was like, go activate it. I came back, swiped. I was like, yeah, dog. I was scared though, Mercedes. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared.
I'm glad I've never been in that situation before.
Yeah. But
I'm glad too, Shauna.
But for the brother who wrote in, man, your answer, like I said, I gave my opinion was you need to go ahead and cut your losses.
Let the ladies tell them what to do. They know what to do.
Yeah.
What say you, Mercedes?
What say you?
S.commas?
I don't think it's a loss. If they're cool and when they're kicking it, it's, the conversation's cool, then keep it at that. But if she's unwilling or ungrateful to have balance and be able to still have a good vibe at any restaurant, because it's really not about the food or the restaurant, it's the connection and what we make. Then yes, then it is definitely a loss. But keep her as a friend or something. But I mean, I feel like he got to dig deep and find his voice because he's creating a situation he can't sustain, and that's gonna make him look bad because he's trying too hard.
Well, he gonna be, if he keep her as a friend, she gonna be that friend like Sly and Shauna, just sucking the life out of her, man.
Heavy.
Just leeching out for Shauna.
That man eating Ripcrest once a week. He eating the ramen noodles the rest of the week.
And that's
That's
real,
his
man.
build up. Hey, Chad, that's his build up. Now I ate these ramen noodles Monday through Thursday. Boy, I can't wait to get the root
What?
Chris.
I'm confused because I take myself to Capitol Grill at least 3 times a week for lunch.
But see, it's a
What they gotta
difference.
do? Your money ain't got nothing to do with his money.
But I'm just saying, like, y'all kind of made it seem like she's like bad.
Well, that's
So
why I
it's
said
kinda
that could be what she's used to.
she's used to.
So if she's out of your league, just say so. Like, don't write a letter. Don't write a letter.
Like most,
Don't put it on her.
most people can afford to go to most restaurants by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got another person, they ordering up stuff and getting drinks and all that stuff add up, man.
Yeah.
I bring my kids home food from Capitol Grill. What you talking?
You bringing them home food that you ain't eating.
No, bringing them. My
Come
son
on,
likes
man.
swag. Okay.
If she out of your league,
I might be in a
just
different category, but
See,
ain't no Mike.
here's the thing about going to places like that. Yeah, I can afford to go there every week. I can afford to take my lady there every week, but does it really make sense for me?
if that's what you like.
But I mean, and I think it's different. I think it's different, man. I don't have any vices. I don't really like to drink. I don't smoke. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have like a lot of vices. But
what you're eating.
But that's what I say. That's my vice. That's my vice. I like going to nice restaurants. Now, when I say nice restaurants, I don't necessarily mean Roof Chris. I just keep saying Roof Chris because it's supposedly a top tier restaurant. But it won't hurt me to go. I like going to different restaurants, different places. That is my vice when it comes to spending money. And so going on a date to a restaurant, that's not a bad thing for me because also, like this man asked his last question about where can we go for dates and stuff like that. I like going to restaurants because I like talking. And I think going on a date, you want to talk to the person you're going on a date with. That's why I think the movies is a bad date. I think the movies is a terrible date.
For sure.
So do we lack creativity and just effort? Why
in this
thing for a date? Take our ass to the museum. Go.
And that's the thing. That's it right there. See, that's what
Top got the best nachos and stuff you can eat if you eat nachos. I don't know how
Who does?
Top Golf.
But
take our ass there.
I think that's where we need.
They got steak too, Sean.
I think that's where we need the help. That's where the brother needs the help because his last question was, "What can he do for dates?" You need to figure out your creativity.
You may go to a picnic, make a picnic basket.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
The picnic
That's
basket.
beautiful.
Picnic.
A
Picnic baskets.
Hey, Tito said
Or he could cook, or he could have someone come over and cook and plate the food and serve it up. Like, it's a lot you can do. Like I said,
So that costs just as much as
that costs just as much as Roof Chris.
Sean, if he talking about Roof Chris, he ain't getting no private chef, Sean.
But he could buy the food and just pay for the chef.
Cook the food, man, and serve it up in a sexy way, dog. Just cook the food and serve it up in a sexy way. If you want to go to the beach, put some nice calming beach water in the background and serve up something, man.
I would say that they can't go to Lizard Ticket. He don't want them.
Hey, Tito said.
You want that meat and three?
Yeah, she gonna get some meat from the restaurant. Lizard Ticket. The meat and the three vegetables.
Hey,
Rice,
read what Tito said. Read what
Hey,
Tito said, Brian, because I got a comment about that.
I got a coupon envelope in my armrest. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Now let me ask you two ladies this now. Would you date a man if y'all went out on a date and he pulled out a coupon?
I save the money. Like, what? How does that affect me? I don't.
I mean, for me personally, I don't have a problem. I mean, like if you like when it comes to dating, you should do creative things, man. Like go and look on Groupon and go to axe throwing. You go to and do axe throwing as a date. I don't know if they got axe throwing around here, but those things seem to pop up. But a bunch of them popped up in the Atlanta area. But that's a cool date. And you know, you can use a coupon and do it a whole lot cheaper than what you would do. But they some women.
I have a wine locker at Capitol Grill. I fucks with Capitol Grill. I spend a lot of money at Capitol Grill because I like the experience. However, in my last relationship, he knew what I liked, right? I have a damn desire for fried gizzards and I can't help myself. We're in Chicago. Whatever we went to, the place we went to, their fried gizzards were expensive. He paid using he used a coupon and he paid. I didn't give a shit because I had some good ass fried gizzards in my hand and was fucking them up before we left the parking lot. But then he could also take me to wherever else I wanted to. You know, he could do whatever. I guess it's just you or your mentality. I could go to the hood.
See, I feel like it's about you gotta choose people that choose you. So if that's not your thing, then you shouldn't choose that person. You know, if like to Mercedes' point, she can do this, but she's also willing to do this. And if you're with somebody who's not willing to do that, maybe that's not the person for you. Like I said, cut your losses and get out. Like if this woman can't have a picnic dinner with you, or you gonna cook for her and y'all gonna sit in the crib and Netflix and chill, like then she ain't it. And that's okay, because everything ain't for everybody.
Yeah,
that's right.
You gotta get out of here.
I like it.
Hey man, I know you want to know where we are, man. We are everywhere. Everywhere you want to look at podcasts or listen to podcasts, that's where the Rook 28 podcast is, man. Where are we at, man?
Everywhere. Spotify, YouTube,
Facebook,
Google,
Apple, YouTube,
Anchor,
Podbean,
SoundCloud.
Podbay.
Gotta get on that Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram also. Let's get it.
Get it,
All
man.
of them things.
But the best way to see us is on YouTube, so you can see the handsome face of Beezy the Goat.
You see how smooth your brother look over here with the beard, you know what I'm saying? Nice shaved head, you know. What the ladies like. It's what
You
the
ain't got no
ladies
excuse. Ain't no excuse. There ain't none.
Like. Ain't none.
It's right there. We're everywhere. Everywhere you want to be.
Rook 28 podcast.
I like that. I like what you said, Shauna. Choose who choose you. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
it's not that difficult. Like it ain't hard. It's just not that difficult. And
get them fried
you can have them gizzards, all of them.
Get them say
Give them to me. Give them to me. Give them to me. Yes. Yes.
But you know, y'all bring.
I want you now. I'm sorry.
Y'all bring up a very interesting point when Shauna was talking about, you know, choose who chooses you, or the level. So like people like to say it's levels to this shit. And one of the things that I bring up when I'm thinking about levels to this is Eboni K. Williams. Now, Eboni K. Williams, I'm not sure how she's famous. I think she's a lawyer or some type of.
She was on the Real Housewives of New York one season. She had a season on there.
Okay. So she reality TV show. So.
Yeah.
Okay. That's that new famous. But she made a point. She was talking and she was saying how she would not date a bus driver. She said dating a bus driver is beneath her, and she would not date a bus driver. And she said that no one else should date a bus driver either. She said women shouldn't date bus drivers either. Surprisingly, I agree with everything she said, except the last sentence. I agree with everything she said, except the last sentence. She said that she should not date a bus driver because he is beneath her financially. And that is 100% true. This lady, Eboni K. Williams, from what we know, she's a millionaire. She's a millionaire, she has money, and she's famous. If she's dating a bus driver, she would expect to continue her lifestyle the same way she continues it, and to have a man meet her at that lifestyle and, you know, probably subsidize that lifestyle a little bit, pay for some of the stuff that she doesn't want to pay for and stuff like that. A bus driver couldn't do that for her. So for her to say she would not date a bus driver, I totally get and I totally understand that. But that last sentence is where she lost me. She said no one else should date a bus driver. Now I looked up salaries for bus drivers in New York. Bus drivers in New York make $90,000.
Come on, Sly.
You know, now the average person in America makes $13,000 a year. All right. So
say that again.
the average person in America makes $13,000 a year.
Got kids and everything.
They make they taxes at the end of the
okay.
year say they made $13,000. That's what the average person in America makes. Now, yeah, of course, yeah, go and Google it, what the average person in America makes. You know, but here's, and so that person, if they was to date somebody who was a bus driver who made $90,000, how can you tell a person who makes less than $15,000 a year that a bus driver is not good enough for? You see what I'm saying?
How you gonna say the bus driver shouldn't date them?
Yeah, you should, truthfully, you say the bus driver shouldn't date them, if you want to be honest with you. But
the whole messed up thing about this world is though that money is so important to your social, to your status and all that stuff. There's all kind of good, great people out here that ain't making, $200,000, $500,000 a year, $1 million. But you miss out on a whole bunch of blessings. There's a whole bunch of people out here complaining they can't find no man or no woman because they not willing to date anybody who don't make a certain amount of money.
Yeah, you cut off a lot of people. You cut off a lot of people when you said your finances need to be this. And love him or hate him, Kevin Samuels did a lot of things that I agree with. He did a lot of things I don't agree with. But one thing that I always enjoyed, every time a woman came on the show or something, he said, "What do you want your man to make?" And everybody says over $100,000 a year. Well, Kevin Samuels always pointed out that only 15% of America makes over $100,000 a year, and he always points that out.
My circle is pretty.
Huh? Say what now?
Sorry. I don't.
We couldn't.
Oh my. What about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, he said only 15% of men in America. He said 15% of men in America make over $100,000 a year. Now
they can't all be here in DC because that's like the
right.
Well,
salary.
Well, check this out. Here's the issue with that. And you could be perfectly right that every man in DC makes over $100,000 a year, but DC, that DMV area, is only about 4 million people. It is only about 4 million people. It's 200 million people in America. So if you look at percentages wise, they're still way under that percentage. And
there's a lot of dudes out there bumming on the streets too. So just maybe the neighborhood you live in, but that DC area got a lot of broke people too. Yeah, that arrive.
So looking for you, ain't it?
So my thing is, if you go and cut somebody off just because they don't make, if that's your cut, and I'm saying you, but I'm not saying Mercedes or Shauna. I'm not saying you guys cut somebody off. I'm just using you. I'm saying if you in general, if you cut somebody off because they don't make $100,000 a year, you're cutting off a lot of good people. You're cutting off a lot.
So what's interesting is I've never been married. And I think most of your folks know that, never been married. And when I seriously dated guys, I've never had the conversation about how much money do you bring home annually? Because for me, that's not the first thing on my list of things that are important to me when I'm thinking about my life partner, how much you bring home in, because I can support myself right now. So I'm not looking for a man or a life partner that can support me and provide for me, because I can do that right now. So I've never had a conversation with the man in my life to go, well, how much money you bring home every year? Because again, my lifestyle that I want to live, I can handle that just fine right now. Now, again, I'm not going to sacrifice anything that I want to do for this guy. And he's got to be able to complement that. And I've dated guys who didn't make 15%. You know, they weren't at that 15%. And that wasn't an issue for me because that wasn't the basis of our relationship. So I find it interesting that people are like, well, I can't date the bus driver. In New York City, like bus drivers are making a lot of money. Now your cost of living is higher. And so you have to factor that into it too. But again, I've never pursued or been pursued by a guy like, well, how much money is you bringing home every month? Because that's what I need to know. Well, Chance, I'm not convinced that you heard anything.
But Shauna, you are also a woman that has something going for herself too. You're not looking to be supported. And I think we get lost in that sometimes. Some people are looking to be supported. And if you can't support them in the way that
Eboni K. Williams doesn't need to be supported either. And so when she was asked,
not directly to her.
Yeah, but when she was asked, would you date a bus driver? She's like, I'm gonna date the owner of the bus company if he wants to date me. But I really just feel like people just got to do what's best for them. She's also single and she's been in relationships with somebody who made a lot of money and it didn't work out. So if she's standing by that, that's on her. Like, good luck, Chuck, because we see how well that's worked out for you now.
Yeah, I mean, if she's fine never dating anybody or getting married or something like that, I mean, that's cool, I guess.
I think the problem that
perspective.
Go ahead.
All right. So I'm not one to be, like Shauna said, I don't come to the table. What do you make? That is a common thing here in DC. It's a very pretentious, very like, so what do you do? What's your GS grade? Like they lead into the conversation when you meet people like that here in DC. However, I'm open to dating someone who can take care of themselves. Whether you pay your bills, that's not my concern. I do have a concern if you do or do not take care of your children. But if we're just dating, your finances is not a concern of mine. Now, like she said, it will be an issue if you can't not necessarily keep up, but if we're planning stuff and I'm getting pushback from you, I do keep that in the back of my mind. Like, okay, well, how can we do we need to plan this out and budget for it? Do you need to plan this and budget for it? Do you want to go half? I'm open to stuff if it's your idea or my idea. But the different perspective I want to submit is the woman who does make well over $100,000, who is open to dating, who likes her, who makes her feel good, and then that young man make her feel bad or resent her because he does not do and cannot bring in what she brings in. How fair is that to her? So y'all are kind of like pointing the finger at the female, but half the females who make money and have taken a chance on a man have been made to feel like crap because that man can't do it. They hold grudges, they get bitter and nasty, and that's the worst feeling, to have a Black man that resents you and all you're doing is supporting him. And you can encourage that man and exalt that man. You can be a connector and like put people in his path. Like, hey, talk to them about the idea you had.
And they still can't handle the fact that maybe this woman is she needs me as a partner and as a companion, but she doesn't need me to sustain her life. And it's what I've seen, and this is just me talking, is that sometimes that's difficult for men. Yeah. That you are the primary breadwinner and you are like your position, and I'm using all these terms loosely, so I don't mean to paint a broad brush, but like your position and your status as they perceive is higher, and I've gotta fight against this. And we all know that the ego is fragile, and the male ego can sometimes be really fragile, and it's tough for them to have to try to maneuver around that and figure out what that looks like. What you trying to say, Chance?
Me and the guys, multiple guys, has talked about this before. You know what I'm saying? If you really feel that way, I mean, you need to go get it and go do something about it. If you worried about her making more money than you.
Mm-hmm.
So what you gonna do about it? You just gonna sit there and be mad? And then I do want to ask, I guess, Brian and Sly or people out there on Facebook. So if your girlfriend, wife makes considerably more money than you, do you feel some type of way?
Well, here's my thing. I think we talked about this a long time ago on the podcast.
We did. We had
so
this show.
Yeah, it's good to bring it back up. At one point in time, my ex-wife made more money than me. My ex-wife made more money than me at one point in time. And
$27 a month.
Huh?
$27 a month. It wasn't much, man.
But she made more money than me, and it felt awkward for me. And she did, and let's put it like this. Let's make it very clear. She didn't do anything to make it feel awkward for me. She didn't throw her money around in my face, but I just felt lacking. So shit, I went and got a part-time job. You know what I'm saying? I went and hustled harder. I tried to hustle harder.
Bridge that gap.
Yeah, bridge that gap, till I could get the way she was at. And I do appreciate my ex-wife for not being a jerk about it. I see you raising your hand, but I'm talking now. Just wait. I see, so I went and hustled harder so I could get to a point to where she wasn't. But now
we try to keep people on the show, not kick them out.
Yeah, okay, but let me also finish answering. Let me answer your question also. If suppose I was to date a woman who was a millionaire, if I'm dating a woman who's a millionaire, and the RIP 28 podcast is millionaires, but as a podcast they're a millionaire, but we aren't millionaires individually yet. But I could understand that she is on that level, and my thing is I would. Even though I couldn't bring in $1 million that year, I wouldn't let her see me sitting on my ass. And I think that's the most important thing. You just can't let her see you sitting on your ass, and then she go, why are you sitting on your ass while I'm making all the money? So I wouldn't mind dating a woman who was a millionaire. I wouldn't. I could live with it because I'm a man. I'm a man. I know I'm a man. I know I'm in charge of my household. Even if you do bring in more money, I'm still a man. Still in charge of my household. Go ahead, Mercedes.
I recall you and I were talking one day, this is years ago, and we weren't even talking about money, but I think like my career came up, and out of nowhere, Sylvester, you were like, I mean, yeah, you got this going for you, but I'm sure I make more money than you. And I remember feeling some type of way because like we weren't even talking about money, but why did you feel the need to remind me that you probably make more money than me, even though you had no idea what I was making or how many streams of income I had? I'm hearing you in what you just said, but it's not aligning with what you making me aware that you make more money than me years ago. And this is when I was like beast mode climbing the ladder in the federal sector. Well, could you understand, like, what was the point of letting me know that out of nowhere? And then your response you just had just now.
What I think you was probably unnecessarily stunting on something. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I
don't brag. I don't stunt. My life is my life, but I don't intentionally brag.
I honestly don't remember that conversation. I mean, we talked so much. I don't remember that conversation, and I'm not denying it. I probably did. I probably said it, but
he may have been lying.
Yeah, I probably been lying. You might actually made more money than me. I probably was lying. But I'm gonna be transparent. If a man said that to you, something about him at that moment was insecure about something. So if I said that to you at that moment, I may have been feeling insecure about something when I said it. And that's just me being truthful. That's me being truthful. A lot of stuff, naturally a man can't really handle a woman making more than him. I'm not saying he can't I'm not saying there are guys who can't live with it. I mean, Stedman can live with Oprah being a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? So you can live with it, and men can do it. And there's some dudes who just bum. There's some dudes who are homosexuals, and they live off of their woman. All right. But naturally, it just, to a man, it feels awkward. if his woman makes more?
I think what's important is, and this is coming from, again, someone who I'll say my most previous relationship, I clearly made more than the guy that I was dating. But what I had to make sure I did, because I know the dynamics between men and women, is that I had to make sure that he felt like he was a leader and he was needed in other areas. So while, again, I made more money than him, I had to make sure, and it wasn't it didn't take a lot of effort from me, because I love this dude and, you know, he was my man. I needed to make sure he felt like I needed him, you know, and he needed to feel like the man. And I did that, and I was able to do that, even though when it comes to the money piece, I was making and bringing home more money than him. I had to make sure that he was still able to feel like a man in the relationship. And I think that that's where sometimes a lot of women who, you know, a lot of women get the label of being independent and you don't need me, whatever. But it's really about how do you make this man feel like you still need him? And you can do that even if you make more money than the man.
Good point.
My favorite light skinned Q talking about write down the date, slide being low key accountable. I'm always accountable for my actions. I'm always accountable.
He ain't lying though, low key.
But it, you know, but it's levels. It's levels to this dating thing, and it takes a certain type of person to date a person who makes significantly less than them. And even men, it takes a certain type of man to date a woman. And, you know, it's definitely more common that a millionaire man can go and meet. Like, people always talk about Jay-Z and Beyonce. If Beyonce met Jay-Z and he worked at Burger King, he couldn't date Beyonce. But if Jay-Z met Beyonce and she worked at Burger King, he could date her.
For sure.
It just is what it is. It is.
It's more common. It's more common that way.
Yeah. So
we'll snatch them hood boogers up and make them rich.
Bam just said the amount of money you make don't matter. It's how much debt y'all in together. That's what Bam said. And Norland said you can make all the money in the world, but if you can't budget, you're poor.
Yeah. That's
well,
true,
as we saw from the coronation that happened yesterday, for those that watched, the side chicks is coming up.
Did you just see what I put? It seems like they are winning. To be honest with you, Tracy Morgan said it like the hoes is winning right now, or the underachieving women are winning.
Because you got a lot of dudes out here that just think just because they got money, that's what makes them. So they'll go get
and money never made the man.
Yeah, it don't.
Never.
Like you can be the worst dude in the world, rich, you can go find you somebody who just want to spend all your money up because you got it, but I don't really like you.
But the crazy thing is, as whoever it is, you need to bring more than finances to the table. It should be more than finances you bring to the table. If you just judged off your finances, then that might be a problem for whomever. But you need to bring more to the table.
Bring to the table?
Baby, I am the table.
Yeah.
You feel where I'm coming from? Mercedes.
I feel you.
But seriously, you need to bring it. I mean, if you're gonna be in a relationship now, if you're just gonna be in a financially dominated relationship, then yeah. But if you're trying to be meaningful, it's gonna have to be something more brought to the table.
Yeah, man. I think wow, Big Al said every woman judges off finances. That's what Big Al said. So
I hate when people say every. You can't say every to nothing.
You can't say every. I'm like Chance. I don't like when people use that word every. You can use the word, a lot, some, whatever. You can use those, but you can't say every. That every is what gets you in trouble.
Good. All the time. especially if you're arguing with somebody.
Al double down on
that
it.
literally.
Al double down on it. And with all caps.
And with all caps. He over here typing like he Tito. All caps.
Yes, sir. All caps.
Boy, say everybody.
No.
I'd be like, Tito, why are you yelling at me right now?
Tito letting you know he got to get his point through.
But you know, it's interesting, you know, seeing the different thoughts in the comments and everything like that. But you know, and just hearing some of the stuff, hearing what Eboni K. Williams said, I halfway understand it. I halfway understand it. But what she said was dangerous. And what I mean by that, it was dangerous to 90% of the women in the world. Because if she's telling all the women in the world not to date a bus driver, everybody don't make the same thing she make. Everybody can't say, I'm not going to date a bus driver because he's beneath me.
But who is she?
And like Shauna said she was a reality. She was on
No, I know that. But like, because she said it, it's not law to a woman who's already like on her shit. Like, okay, she said it. That's her opinion. She's
getting at people have to think for themselves.
Okay.
And if you're looking to her to be the gospel, then I think there are other issues that are
well,
there.
this is the problem with social media though. Like a lot of people take these people on social media like they let them influence them. And I'm like, these just regular people just like you. They out there on the screen mode. And
they are called influencers. They are called influencers.
They are influencers.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Hey, don't let these folks don't let these influencers mess your whole life up.
Yeah, but that's come back to the point. You got to think for yourself. If you allow social media to dictate what goes on in your life, then you have a big problem right there.
Shell just said Eboni is single now because of her outlook on what a relationship is or should be. Oh, when she made that comment, I knew nothing of her, but when she made that comment, I knew she was single. It is some shit you hear, you know you ain't got nobody when they say it. You know what I'm saying? So that did. I knew I don't even know who she is, but I knew she was single. So yeah. But my fear is what she said wasn't totally wrong. She was not totally wrong. It's just when she tried to equate it to everybody, it was not wrong for her. It wasn't wrong for her.
Right.
But when you try to put that wide net about everybody, that's when I have a problem. And then like a couple of people in the comments said, when she went on the Breakfast Club, because she made the quote on somebody else's show, and then
Ayala Van Zant.
Okay. I can't pronounce her name. I'm glad you can. But but when she tried to go on the Breakfast Club and try to clean it up a little bit, and she wasn't doing no favors for herself. She wasn't doing no favors trying to clean it up.
That was a terrible cleanup job.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like
between she did double down, but then Envy was in his feelings, so he was acting
light skinned.
But my thing is, Envy was in his feelings, but the new Charlemagne, the new Charlemagne was playing that fence that he likes to play so well now. And I think one of the things that made the Breakfast Club great was the fact that Charlemagne was an asshole and kind of said what he needed to say. But Charlemagne's getting that real money now, so he's playing the middle a lot more.
Gotta be careful.
He's playing the middle. He's still
he's a brand now.
Yeah, he's still a great interviewer. He still does really, really good now, and I like the dynamic.
He does better than Envy does in interview.
Yeah. But here's the thing, Envy. What made the Breakfast Club so good is because they were all three very different. They were all really different, and they all brought something else to the table. I truly believe that when Angela Yee left, she was easily the most replaceable person on the Breakfast Club. You know,
and Lali as a
your boy
Webby and Lali
on the Breakfast Show.
And Shell talking about Eboni is his friend. Charlemagne was holding back. Yeah, he was holding back. You can tell he was holding back. But
Yeah.
and she also said it got worse. I don't think I think losing Angela Yee did not make the Breakfast Club any worse.
Webby saying that or Sly?
She was definitely the weakest link.
Yeah.
Easily.
So yeah, and I like what they're doing, bringing in the guest people and stuff, bringing in a different host every couple of days.
No, why you say that? Who is Flaming Monroe? That dang gonna laugh.
Oh,
Never seen this person. I never seen.
Flame is a dude. Well, no,
I know that. I know that.
Her acronym is he, she, we.
Pronouns, fool.
Okay,
What is
Her acronym.
You know, I don't know, but she got a stand up special. He, she, we got a stand up special, and it was on Tiffany Haddish on Netflix, and he, she, we is really funny.
Yeah, I couldn't get over that like her baby.
Yeah.
So anyway, back on subject. Angela Yee was the most replaceable, easily replaceable one on the Breakfast Club. Easily.
Tito talking about envy wife got his balls in her bag. Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. Well, check
she
this.
Went on a month, 6 weeks or whatever she did. Well, you know why.
You mean 10 years faking orgasm?
No, you talking about the vacation.
I'm talking about when he went on that one on that girl's trip. Well, that let you know something right there.
Yeah.
She faked for 10 years, bro. Anyway, go ahead, Sly. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That's another story for another day.
Another story for another day.
Did this nigga never ask one question until he got?
Bro, it should. Never mind. We'll talk about that later off air. Come on. Keep going, Sly.
That bed ain't wet. No, he ain't doing something right. But
Come on, man. Talk to him, Sly.
Here we go, man. Hey, check this out, man. We're getting close. You know what we like to do right about now, man. Right about this time, we like to take a walk. Take a walk down the 90s block. We take a walk down the 90s block. And what we do with the 90s block, man, we find something in the 90s and we compare it. And we just ask a simple question, man. Which one is better? Which one is better? And what we're going to do for the 90s block, since we're talking about the ladies, we're going to talk about two iconic singing groups from the 90s. The first is SWV versus In Vogue. Which one? Which one do you choose? What say you? SWV or In Vogue? Who want to go first on this one?
Is the ladies first? Cedes.
Ladies first.
Well, since Cedes is so much younger than us, we might have to explain who these people are, since she's so much younger.
No need to explain. I'm team In Vogue, though I love SWV.
Never gonna get it. What about you, El Presidente?
That's a tough one. But I have to go with In Vogue too.
Yeah.
SWV, they kind of look funny.
Yeah.
Sisters with voices, man.
They
fool said they look funny. I can't stand you two.
The one that married to Eddie George, she seemed a little masculine to me.
Ooh.
Hey, you talking about somebody white, Chance? That man gonna see you.
Keep it moving.
Hey, you need to coach at my daughter's school too. Now
I know.
Keep it moving.
Hey man, me personally, I'm gonna go with In Vogue strictly off giving him something he can feel. That video, woo, my goodness.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was the greatest video of 14 years.
That he can feel.
Greatest video, boy. I tell you, boy. You talk about watch that video.
Which is also a remake.
A remake of what?
Sparkle.
The song is a remake.
Yeah.
But the video came from the performance in Sparkle too, right?
The original Sparkle, right? Oh yeah, I guess it would have to be the original because the remake ain't come out long after that song was out. Oh yeah, Tito just said the old girl played in Juice. Cindy played in Juice.
Yeah, I'm taking In Vogue.
She was the child molester in
Indeed.
Juice.
I'm taking In Vogue for What's It Gonna Be from Set It Off.
What's it gonna be?
Yeah, that was true.
That's all he knew. That's all he knew. What's it gonna be?
That's all I know.
That's all we need from him.
We gonna close it out and go 5-0 in Vogue, man.
Yeah. In Vogue.
In Vogue just had that it factor.
And let's not forget how they came out the gate with the when I.
Oh yeah.
And they used to be on Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Come on now. Cool.
Oh, well, what else? You forgot. You forgot. They was on Rock too.
Yeah, they was on Rock.
These
Yeah.
on the Rock
Oh,
too.
come on, Rock. What y'all know about Rock?
Yeah, that was my shit.
Hey,
Come on
she
now,
done say
Illinois.
she wasn't no child molester. She was 21 and he was 17.
Oh, hell no, man. She was a nurse. She was an RN nurse, man. So that's what, 5 years, 6 years in school?
We not fooling with Tito tonight.
She had to be about 23, 24. He was 16, man.
No, he's probably 17. He's probably 17.
Well, 17.
Still underage.
Y'all give R. Kelly hell for the same thing.
I said still underage.
Okay, there you go. But you know what? We talking about SWV singing the theme song for Rock, and they did some guest appearances on Rock. In the 90s, the black shows in the 90s, didn't it seem like
everybody was on there?
They always had an R&B singer, you know what I'm saying, to come on some of these guest shows, to be guest appearances, man.
New York Undercover. Remember, at the end of every episode, they were at this bar. They had everybody on New York Undercover.
That had to be the greatest bar in the whole goddamn world.
Everybody was on New York Undercover.
Man, I miss R&B guest appearances on TV shows, man. You don't have
R&B
that no more.
You have to go back to our time in the 90s, 80s, and 90s because there ain't no R&B no more.
Yeah,
ain't no real R&B.
Yeah,
in the R&B songs now, you can get shot in the R&B songs now.
Martin used to have everybody on there. He had a bunch of guest appearances on there.
Jamie Foxx.
Family Matters on BET now. Shanice was on Family Matters. Tracy, what's my girl? Tracy Spencer. Her and Eddie was singing Tender Kisses together on Family Matters.
Moesha had, I remember Usher came on.
Oh.
Yeah. No, that was Parenthood. Usher came on Parenthood.
Right there.
No, he dated Moesha. He dated Moesha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, man.
And
Ray J. Yeah, Ray J.
Yeah, Ray J.
Yeah. Her boyfriend though was Sticky Fingers.
Yep.
No. Wasn't his name Q on there?
Yeah.
Q. Yep, he was Q.
What about the sister, Go Home Roger?
Yep, they had Marcus Houston.
Marcus Houston.
Yeah.
He was actually on the show. He went like
he wasn't a guest.
No, but like Immature came on the show though.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they filmed the video. They had Tevin Campbell, but BBD filmed the video in the house with the parents
put the stuff out in the rain and called her to go get.
Hey, we ain't gonna have no more to talk about in the 90s next show. We didn't
For
talk.
real. Y'all running out.
Chance, it was a whole decade, Chance. You got a lot to talk about.
Man, check this, man. We running close to that time, man. But it's been another great episode of the Rip 28 Clock. I'm sorry, I'm reading some of these comments, man. Tito, man. We gotta mute Tito for a little bit. Tito keep making me laugh.
Brandy's little brother. Well, Brandy's little brother was on Moesha too.
Brandy brother.
But anyway, man, this has been another great episode of Rip 28 Podcast, man. We got any important shots? El Presidente, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
No, man, just get ready for work tomorrow. Maybe get you a second job so you can afford to take your girl to Ruth Chris once a week.
Oh my goodness. Mercedes, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I do actually. I didn't celebrate my nonprofit's 8th year anniversary. And so if anyone is in Columbia, preferably the Broad River, St. Andrews Middle School, Columbia High School area, I want to pour into 8 families. So email me or just go to my website, tgnck.org, and let me know if there's a family that I could pour into, preferably a family that has a need, but I want to celebrate our 8 years.
Can you slow down again?
Yeah, I was about to say, slow down and put it in the comments.
I used to live in Columbia.
That is so cute, but you make over 100,000 though, right?
No, who said that?
Hey,
I don't disclose my income.
He said, who said that?
I don't disclose what I make around here.
All right, LBZ, you got it? Well, hold on. I said put it in the comments. She going to put it in the private chat, man.
Okay.
www.tgnck.org.
Jeez.
Repeat that, Sly. One more time, Sly. Say it one more time.
Okay, www.tgnck.org. If you want to help out Mercedes, she does a great nonprofit. Mercedes actually been on TV. She's on Rachel Ray before. She does big things in Columbia and the DMV area.
She is somebody.
We're proud of our baby girl. We're proud of Mercedes. She might not be the prettiest thing, but she's really smart.
She ain't bad for a Honda. She ain't
bad for a Honda. And I get you
where you need to go.
If you help donate to her, you might get lucky and see her Newport van driving around.
Hey, Sly, get a picture of that Newport van because I surely want to see his van.
I'm gonna put it up on the YouTube. I'm gonna get our producer to put it up on the YouTube clip of this one right here. Van. The Newport van Mercedes got.
Long as she ain't in there smoking Newport.
Doesn't look like a Newport.
All right.
It doesn't.
Just don't be in there smoking a Newport.
Even your Sora say just a little.
My bad.
Nah.
Sora.
It's the orange.
Sora.
Orange.
S.commerce. You got anything to say before we get out of here?
Look, I say it every time. Love on you people. So I give a shout out to my brother, Philip Scooter Cobb. Today is the 7th anniversary of his passing, which I absolutely cannot believe. It's been 7 years. So I miss my brother every day. Love on you people. Life is short and life comes at you fast. Make sure you reach out to the people that mean something to you and let them know that you're thinking about them, that they're on your mind. Love on you people.
There it is. Shout out to Big Bro Scooter. LBZ, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
Man, being the educator's educator, I just want to say to those that are graduating college and trade school or whatever you're doing, high school that's coming up, take advantage of this, man. Take it all in. Time goes by fast. Take it all in. It's your time now to reflect, but don't forget that you still have a journey that you're on. So don't get slowed down in your journey. Admire what you've already done. So because it's so much more to do. And shout out to those that are competing in track. And shout out to Michaela Tillich, 7th grader. She qualified for the Lower State track meet with the 2nd fastest time in the region. So keep going, baby girl. We're proud of
you. Yep. Shout out to baby girl out there, man. She putting up college times out there. Time. Well, check this, man. Giving shout outs, man. Definitely. I want to give a shout out to my little sister. I gave her.
Hold on. Sly.
Go ahead.
Forget Sierra. We need your sister's prayer. Because I went to her Facebook and she said she reconnected with this guy and 2 months later he proposed. Folks need your sister's prayer, not Sierra's. Okay, proceed.
Well, whatever. He's a good guy. What was I gonna say? Yeah, shout out to my little sister, man. I gave my little sister away yesterday. Friday. I gave her away on Friday. She got married to a guy, Marshall Benjamin. He seems to be a good fella. And I think he's gonna treat my sister right. So I appreciate him. I got to give him away. Your boy almost shed a tear, man. I almost shed a
Boy,
tear.
you cried.
Almost.
You cried.
Almost.
But I'm a thug.
Somebody was cutting the onion in there and it got in his eye.
Yeah,
Couldn't nobody tell.
For sure.
Couldn't nobody
For
tell
sure.
because he always be sweating anyway.
Hey, Sly.
Y'all
But
so,
let your
Hey.
new brother-in-law know you got a lot of homeboys around the world. So
oh yeah.
we
Let
will
them
Deep.
hunt
Deep.
down.
let them know.
We'll
Let them
hunt
know.
him down.
Hey, your boy was clean. Your boy was
Yes,
clean.
sir.
Oh, Lord, he done
Yes,
pulled up his
sir.
Your boy was clean. Your boy
He
was
pulled up his
clean.
fingers.
Sly. Hey, Sly, speaking of old school R&B, boy, you look like Joe a little bit.
Nah, I
Oh,
could
Look a
have.
little
I
bit
could have
like
been
Joe,
on the
just a
cover.
heavier version.
What Joe?
If you squint.
You
If you
talking about
squint real hard.
look like rock.
Hey man.
Hey, Sly, you was clean as the border here, boy.
Yeah,
Nah.
you clean, dog. You clean, brother.
That's my cover. That's my new album cover right there, boy. When I put it out, boy, that's it.
Boy had the filter on and everything.
The
But
inside
yeah.
of your jacket
Sly,
was pretty.
if you ever need a photo, that's the one you better get because
Oh,
all
that-
your other ones ain't gonna work.
Hey,
It's gotta be that one.
It's got to be.
hey.
Got to be.
But check this, man. It's been another great episode of the Rip 28 podcast. This is a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we keep on talking about them on the Rip 28 podcast. Let everybody out there know cuffing season, boo season is over. Sun's out, buns out. Go and get your slut on for the summer. We'll holler at you. Rip 28 podcast.
Hey, let's see it.
Let me see it.
Let us see it. I'm peeking.